Hello friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. We're starting off this week with our birthday shindig. So I'm going to explain that to you and then share with you some of the things that I've created to start off this birthday celebration. But before I do that, quickly I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Rita here at Rita's Paper Motif. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I love to create birthday cards, scrapbook pages, and 3D projects. And I like to share them with you in hopes that it will inspire you to create and share with those that matter to you. Always people love to know that they're being acknowledged and thought of, and what a better way than to send a homemade card or a 3D project, and what a better way to preserve those memories we have with others than to put it in a scrapbook. So today is the beginning of the birthday shindig. It will go until for 6 more days, and each day I will bring you a creation or a design that I would like to share with you so that you can start your collection of birthday cards. And then when a birthday comes up for whatever age group, then you would be ready to go and either hand deliver that birthday card or mail it. So I wanted to share with you also, before we get started, that we have a great campaign going on right now. It's called Sale-a-bration, and it actually will last till the February 28th, which is another week or two. And what's great about Sale-a-bration is when you make a qualifying purchase, which is $60 before shipping and handling. And then also, if you make a purchase of $120 before shipping and handling, then you can pick out some of this free product in our catalog to reward you for those qualifying purchases. So the product is all separated into whether you've made that $60 purchase or the $120 purchase. So you can choose from this appropriately. And I did want to tell you, not everything that's in the Sale-a-bration campaign is in this catalog. There's also some more items that have been added to the catalog. And so this is a very popular stamp set. Punches, I always keep my punches. It seems that even though they may retire, they always find them useful. And then, of course, one thing I love is this alphabet die set. It kind of has that Ray-Dun feel to it, but they're perfect alphabet dies for when you don't have a sentiment, or maybe when you're scrapbooking. This is the perfect size for your page, for the title for your page. And then also, we're always looking for things to make those masculine cards. So here's a nice set of dies that not necessarily have to be for the men in your life, but anyone that maybe works with tools would certainly enjoy these die cuts on their card. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, how you qualify for those purchases, for that free product, is by making those $60 purchases before shipping and handling. I've already said that, I know, but I wanted to tell you that your purchases can be from the mini catalog, which ends in April, or the annual catalog, which ends in May, or they could be a combination thereof. So I just wanted to share that with you because we are running out of time for that celebration. And so hopefully you'll see some product that you like as I share these birthday cards with you. It'll help to make your decision to purchase, I hope. And then you're always welcome to go to ritaspapermotif.com. And there I have my online store where you can make your purchases. I appreciate your business. And also you'll find the tutorials and all the news that's going on in my world, you'll find at ritaspapermotif.com. One last thing, I wanted to ask you that if you're watching here on Facebook, please consider subscribe or following me, and if you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. It just does help us to get our sharing time out with many more people. So thank you in advance for that. Now, I did want to share with you the very first card that I made, and this is using, I'll tell you what I used, and then we're going to go ahead and make that card. I used the stamp set called Spring Corners. Now, Spring Corners is an online exclusive, so we do have product that is in our catalogs, but we also have a line of product that comes from the online exclusive. So it's an online store. We have new product that comes in every month. There's a couple of new things that will come into that store, and then you can make your purchases accordingly. Now, this does have some dies that go with it. I'm not featuring the dies today. I'm featuring only the stamp set. We're going to make this card which uses this stamp set. And so this is the inside. Now I wanted to just go ahead and create that card with you. So I also am featuring the Flowers of Beauty, which is where I got that flower. So let's go ahead and begin, and we'll create that card. I'll share with you what you need. First of all, you're going to need a piece of basic white cardstock. This is half of a 8.5 by 11 sheet of basic white. What I did was I just put it in my trimmer with the 11-inch side at the top of the trimmer. I cut it in half, which would be 5.5, and then I rotated the piece of cardstock, so this is the 8.5 side, and then I just scored down the middle at 4.25. This will make our card base for the card we're going to make today. Now, I don't know about you, but when I have a birthday and family or friends, I'm always looking to see what kind of card I can send them. So even though I make a lot of birthday cards, it seems like I use a lot of birthday cards too. So that's a really good thing. So we have our card base, and we've already talked about that. Then you're going to need, this is a piece of petunia pop. This measures 4 inches by 5.25. This is going to be our top layer. We're not going to adhere it quite yet, but you do need that. You're going to need another piece of, and this is the one that goes here. This is the 4 by, what did I say, 5.25. This is the insert. This is going to be 4 by 5.25 too. This looks a little whiter. I may have to cut this down. Nope. This is the insert for inside. I just had eye surgery this morning, so you know, I may be a little off on what it looks like. And then you're also going to need a piece of designer series paper, which is going to layer right on top of this petunia pop. I had it right the first time, sorry. It's going to layer right here on the petunia pop, and it's going to look like that. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, and that is some designer series paper that is available. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets. I want to show you. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets. I've cut mine down to 6 by 6, but you get a lot of that designer series paper, and that comes from the Sale-a-bration catalog. So when you make those free purchases, this is something that you can get for free. So I do often cut down most of the designer series paper in my 12 by 12 packs, and I cut it to 6 by 6. I do leave some for my scrapbooks because I like that in a a 12 by 6 strip. So I do leave some for my scrapbook, but also cut the rest down in 6 by 6 squares so that I can use it for my cards. But again, this is called Bloom's Impression Designer Series paper. It can be found in the Sale-a-bration catalog. So you can't buy it, but you can earn it when you make your $60 purchase. All right, so I wanted to make this card with you today. The other thing that you'll need is a piece of, this is scrap paper. I'm going to show you how I created this front right here. So this is just a scrap, but then you're also going to need a piece of basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to layer on that petunia pop. It will go on the inside. And then now we have a piece of basic white, which is 4 by 3, and that is what we're going to put our floral thing on, and we're going to stamp our sentiment on the front. So let's go ahead and get started, and I've already decorated my envelope. So we already have that ready to go. I'm going to put that up there and kind of move these over. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp. So what I want to create is I want to create this green part, the foliage of my flower. And I want to, what I did with this is I stamped it on a piece of basic white. And then I die cut that out. So I'm going to show you how I did that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll show you. And when I have a longer stamp, I like to take the ink to the stamp, and then I just go ahead and, this is Mossy Meadow, by the way, and I just go ahead and stamp it. And we're going to close this up because it's easy to get ink all over my fingers, and then we'll transfer ink to our project. So I will go ahead and stamp it, and that's what it looks like. And I'm going to clean my stamp. I use a chamois to clean off my stamp, and I try to remember to clean it every single time, because when you take that ink that you just used and you maybe use another ink pad, you'll transfer that ink, and then it gets kind of messy. And then I wanted to show you what die. So this is the Flowers of Beauty. This is what I stamped that foliage with. And I'm going to take this die, because that comes with, Flowers of Beauty is a bundle, so it comes with a stamp set and a set of dies. Bundles are nice because you get the dies and whatever the images are, and they coordinate together, of course, and you'll get them at a 10% discount when you buy them together. Now you can buy them separately, so if you just wanted the stamp set, you could do that. But if later on you find and wish you had the dies, then you will have missed out on that discount. So then I just kind of lay my die down. And some of you know this if you've been crafting for a while, but sometimes we have people who have not been crafting, and this just kind of shares with them our world, right? So I try not to take for granted anything. And sometimes, even though I've been stamping for a while, I like to watch other crafters, see how they do it, because sometimes they have something that is a little bit easier than what I've been doing. And so then I will take my washi tape, or you can take a sticky note. I'm just going to get one here. Or you can take a sticky note and you can secure down that die, and then you run it through your cut and emboss machine, and then you should come out with a die cut that looks like this. And so then what I would do is I would take this piece that's going to go on the front of my card, and I have that ready to go. Before I do that, I'm going to take the sentiment that I want to use, and I'm going to show you that sentiment. That sentiment is from, again, from the Spring Corners, and it's this one, wishing you an amazing day. So this is going to be a birthday card. And so I thought, well, what sentiment goes with a birthday? So wishing someone an amazing day on their birthday is definitely appropriate, right? So that's what I'm going to use. And what I like about these stamps, I'll bring it back over because it's hard to see it on the block. What I like about them is they have corners, thus spring corners. But it just can go down the side of your sentiment strip, which creates some interest, right? So many times we think of the sentiment strips that are like in a straight line, or sometimes they're half circled or arched, but this one is nice because it goes around the corner. So let's go ahead and stamp that. We're going to use Petunia Pop to stamp our greeting. And so again, I'm going to come ink to stamp. And this is one of our bigger blocks, acrylic blocks. I like these acrylic blocks. I wanted to show you. I'm going to get a smaller one just to show you. They're nice and thick. Now, sometimes blocks come like this. I've had this for a long time, so I don't really know where I got it. But they will come thinner. And when you're stamping, when you're putting the stamp to the ink, it's easy to get ink on your fingers. But these are so nice to hold on to. They have that little groove. So if you have arthritis, you know, sometimes that happens, right? As we get older, there's all kinds of things that happen that we didn't plan for in life. But this is nice because you kind of have a place to grip. And they come in all sizes. You can definitely find them at our store. You can buy them individually. When you subscribe to the Paper Pumpkin, then you get an ink block for free, and that is different looking too. That's not this, it looks like this. So it does have that narrow grip that I was talking about. But when you're first starting out, this is fine, right? Because we can't get all of the product when we're first starting out usually. Now, I did want to take a piece of scrap paper to check this stamp on. Now, I always like to check my stamp before I put it on my sentiment strip, so I'm just gonna take a piece out because maybe I didn't get it inked well. Maybe sometimes when they're new, they have like a chemical on them, and so it will make it splotchy. But let's go ahead and stamp it and see. So I can tell maybe that I want a little more ink at the top there. And then also I'll tell you too that it's with these acrylic stamps, it's nice to have the this little foam pad. It's a piercing matte, and it just gives you that cushion because these are photopolymer stamps, and they don't, the red rubber have a little cushion on it. These do not. But the beauty of these is you can see right where you're stamping, right? So because, again, my eyes, one of them is dilated, so I'm going to pull this closer so that I can see where I'm stamping. So I'm just going to bring it in and do a corner stamp. And there we go. I'm kind of amazed I did that. I wasn't really sure. That focus thing is not working just yet on my eyes. But okay, we're going to go ahead and put this up because I don't want to get ink all over my fingers. And then we're going to bring in our little foliage thing. And so let's go ahead and put that down. So I just love this Flowers of Beauty stamp set. I really do like it. I like the spring corners too, I think just because it's different and new. And I'm going to go ahead and you know, you can position it however you want. I kind of like it at a slant. And if you go off the card, like I did right there, that's not a problem. You just bring in your scissors and clean it up, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and now I wanted some little blooms on there like I have here. And so what I did is I took that Flowers of Beauty stamp set again. What did I just do with it? And you'll see that there is, there are tiny little flowers right here. I went ahead and put them on one of our tiniest blocks. And I'm going to tap that into our pink petunia. Look what I just did. I knew that was going to happen. Let's go ahead and get that off my finger before I put it everywhere. Thumb, I should say. And we're just going to go ahead and tap this into the ink. And then you can just put this wherever you want. And it's like, it's 3 of them, so they have like 1 in the middle and 2 on the side, so that just makes it perfect. And then we're just going to go ahead and stamp them on here. And so you can see how you're how I'm getting some blooms here. And you can stamp them. You don't have to stamp all of them. Maybe you just want 1 of them. So you could do that. Well, I'm going to have to put that second one there because, okay, and that you don't want to do. And then we're going to just put a couple more here. Okay, I am going to clean this up. I have to bring it closer, I'm sorry. Okay. And clean this up too. Okay. All right, so now we have our blooms on here, and then we can put this card together. This is going to be the inside, so let's go ahead and stamp that. Well, because if we don't like the stamp, we can always flip it over. But if we go ahead and secure it inside, then we're kind of doomed with that, right? So I just want to put happy birthday. And the happy birthday that I'm using comes from the spring corners right down here. So let's go ahead and stamp that on here. And I am going to get that scrap paper to make sure my stamp is good. And we're going to try not to get my head in the camera. We'll go ahead and stamp it. And I'm going to bring in some of those blooms to put right here. And maybe a couple more right here. You really can put them wherever you want. All right, let's go ahead and put our card together now. So I'm going to put these 2 together. And I'm using liquid glue just for video purposes. It's easier. The adhesive of preference for me is the Stamp & Seal, but the glue just gives us a little bit of time to manipulate our what we're gluing down, what we're adhering down. Just gives us a little time to manipulate it because it takes a second for it to stick. Okay, trying to get that even. There we go with that. And then we're going to do the front of our card. So I did want to tell you that if you make a $60 purchase from my store this week, I am going to send you a free gift of my choice. Whoops, I did that wrong. Woo! That was close. I'm going to send you a free gift of my choice. Okay, let's see here. And I am holding this up so I can make sure that my margin is even all the way around. Okay, and then you can do a couple of things. You can put this up on dimensionals, which I'm going to do, or you can just put it flat on your card, whichever works for you. I am going to put it on dimensionals, but I do know that postage right now is very expensive. So, you know, you want to think about what you want to do with that, right? So it's really truly up to you. I'm getting out my dimensionals here. And so these dimensionals are really like those, some people call them sticky dots. They're just, it's foam. And they come in two sizes. We have the regular standard size, which I'm using right now, and we have the mini. We also have dimensionals that come in the color black, and those are great to use when you're putting down a dark, something dark that you want to elevate with the dimensionals. That's perfect, because then when you look at the side of your card, you can't see the white part that you would be able to see with these. And then we're just going to take off the release paper, so it's like a little wax paper on here. And you want to put enough on the back of your, whatever you're adhering down, because if you're going to mail this and it goes through the postal service, if these are not well balanced, that machine that has rollers is going to when it gets to the recipient, it may not be how you intended for it to get there. So, and this too, you can kind of move as long as you don't press down on it for good. So I am, because my eyes are dilated, I'm trying to make sure it's where I want it to be. Now, you can see that on this card, I used a butterfly, a little brass butterfly. And I wanted to tell you that right now, those, let's look, but right now, those are a free item for every $60 purchase. And they are also in the catalog. So if you wanted them, why not get them now that they're free, right? So I'm going to get those out, and you can choose. We have small, medium, and larger. So whichever one that you want to use, that is fine, right? So I'm going to just choose one. I haven't even opened these. I thought I had some that were open. Let me look. I love these butterflies because they just give that little bit of interest to your cards, right? They're wonderful, actually. Oh, I didn't open this one either. Okay, we're just going to open this one. I kind of stocked up on them, actually. So I think I want to take one of these larger ones, and you can put it wherever you want. You could put more than one. I'm just going to put one, and I'm just going to put it right up here. All right, so this card really is finished now. And then it has, of course, its envelope that it would go in. And I just took to decorate that. I'll show you. to decorate that, all I did was take some of that petunia pop with those little buds, and I just put them here. You can put as many as you want. You could like stamp off, or you know, give it different degrees of that petunia pink, whatever. And so there's the card, and there's the envelope. Now I wanted to tell you that you can go to ritaspapermotif.com, and there you can get the measurements again. So if you'd like to recreate this, then head on over and get that information from the website. Now I wanted to show you something else, and then we're going to do one more card. So many times when we go to birthdays or birthday parties, we want to take a gift, right? And so this is a handmade bag. I'm going to show you how to make it. This is using a 6x6, two 6x6 pieces of designer series paper. And you could use any designer series paper you want. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm taking my two pieces of designer series paper. I'm using the same paper as this. So I've labeled this the top because I want to explain this to you. When you're making your card, you're going to be scoring all four sides, right? So 3 of those sides you're going to score at an inch. This scoring on the 3 sides is going to become 1, 2, 3 sides of your card. Now at the top, you're going to score 1 inch, and you can adapt this to any size square. You could do an 8x8, you could do it 12x12. If you do it 12x12, you're going to want to score 1.5 on the side, on the 3 sides, and 1 inch on the top, because it's going to be a bigger bag and you want a little more thickness, right? Now I told you that I scored 1/2 inch at the top. You have a choice here. Actually, right now we have a choice of a lot of things. We can choose to be the side that you'll see when you look at the bag, or we can choose this side. I am going to, for now, choose this side, but it really would be up to you. So all of these are going to be folded this way. And also the top, you could fold the top this way if you wanted to. If you had designer series paper that you really felt looked good together, then you can do that. I am going to fold it in though for today. And so that's the choice you can make. And I'm going to go ahead and do the very same with this piece. So I've already scored it. But you can score it either with our Simply scoreboard, or you could score it with our trimmer. Our trimmer has a cutting and a scoring blade, and you're going to see more of that this week. And now we're going to cut tabs here. So I just need to make a little room here. I've got things all over. Let's see. Excuse my reach. Okay, we're going to take our snips and we're going to create some tabs. And so we're just going to leave this top for now, but we're going to come down to the bottom, and you've created a square where those two score lines intersect. There's the corner of a square. We're gonna, on one of those 6x6 that we just scored, we're going to cut these squares out. And you want to cut them inside that score line on the bottom. And then I'm going to take and just barely miter that end off. And what that does is just takes out the bulk. Okay, we're going to do the same on this side. So up to the first score line. Okay, and miter. All right, and then this second piece, we're going to just cut to the side, to that where the score lines intersect. And again, I'm just going to miter that a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And we're going to, again, miter. Now this bag is really simple, and the bigger bags, like I said, you just do the very same thing. Now before we start gluing anything, I want to go ahead and glue the top down so that that's not an issue. But before I do that, I'm going to use some tear and tape on the top here. Now I love tear and tape. It's it's strong, so it really holds those, well, all of our adhesive is strong, but this in particular is great for 3D projects. And I'm going to varnish that down. Sorry, I was out of camera view, I think. Now tomorrow I have a really cool surprise for you, so hope you join me tomorrow as well. Okay, let's go ahead and remove that release paper. I like to take my bone folder to do that. You want to make sure it's varnished down though, or else you'll be taking off the tape, but it comes just like that. And what this is doing is it's creating a little more of a secured top. So essentially you could not even have to, you know, score this and fold it down, but I like it to be a little thicker on the top because I'm gonna punch some holes there, and I don't want my top to be too flimsy. All right, so there, I've done that. Now let's go ahead and stick these together, and I'll show you why. I'm getting my crocodile here. This is a crocodile. I've had it for a very long time. When I first started scrapbooking, we had all these cool things then, and any hole punch will work though. So I'm just going to go ahead and put both of those 6x6 sheets together, and this way I will punch the holes in the exact same spot for both of them. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put things together. We'll get rid of this. So this is going to fit right on here like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive, and it doesn't really matter where. I'm going to put it on here. And one of the things with the liquid glue is I have to tell myself all the time, ... you don't need a lot, because more is less with that. And I'm just making sure it's flush here. Yes, less is more with that adhesive, and if you put too much, then everything is going to be sticky, right? All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right on here, and you could use the tear and tape. I'm going to go ahead and use the glue since I have that out. And I'm going to bring one of those sides, there we go. I'm going to bring one of those sides up. So this is the side that we glued onto the other. I'm going to bring it up, just like that. And I want to make sure it's flush at the bottom. and I'm gluing it onto that tab. Do the same thing on this side. And now you can see it's becoming almost like a box, right? And then I'm going to put some adhesive right here. And I'm going to adhere that down just like this. So I do want it to be flush and flush at the bottom, and that's kind of the nice thing about the glue, is that you can manipulate this so it is flush. Okay, we're going to do the same here. And then now I'm going to take my bone folder. Sorry. Okay, bone folder. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to kind of run it on the edges and make sure that everything is kind of pressed down, so that will, you can see how it sharpens up the edges. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And with your bone folder, you're pressing so that you know, you're getting that glue to kind of stick, so you can see how much nicer that looks. And you might have to do it a couple of times. All right, so there we go. There's that. Now I wanted to show you what I do for a handle, because obviously we need a handle, right? Now on this bag, I use the white ribbon that is in our online exclusives, but it's a little too heavy for the knot that we're going to put on the inside. So it's great for holding onto it, but it's just a little, there's better applications for this ribbon. So let's go ahead and use this green. This is shaded spruce. It'll go nicely with the green in our designer series paper, although this is Shy Shamrock, but this still goes nicely with it. So let's go ahead and use that. I'm going to stick it through the hole here, and then I'm going to tie a knot. Let's see here. It's okay if the knot is kind of, it's okay if I have extra here. I can always trim it off. And then I'm going to see how long I want these handles. And I'll give me a little bit of room to tie, and then I'll just snip them off here. Okay, so I'll put this through as well. Sometimes I use my take a pick tool to just kind of help bring that through. And again, I'm going to tie a knot. Now, we don't want those knots showing through, so you can see how it's kind of coming to the top. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a minute. Okay, so now we have a nice little handle there. I am going to trim some of this off because it is way too long. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I make sure that that stays down. So what I do is I just take some household Scotch tape and just a little bit, and I just secure those down. Your tissue paper is obviously going to cover this so they won't see it, but it'll keep those knots down. And the other thing it'll do, whoops, I need to cut this off. The other thing it'll do is it'll make sure that your knot does not go through that hole, because you know, if you carry it enough there, they're going to come through that hole. I didn't do a very good job with that Scotch tape there. All right, so we're going to try this again. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. Again, this is, you can, you know, match your ribbon with whatever designer series paper that you're using. All right, so let's go ahead and stick this one through. There we go. Tie our knot. Okay, let's see here. I'm curious, which do you like better? You like the green ribbon or the white ribbon? Let me know in the comment section. I do come back and read all your comments. This is recorded and not live, so I still would like to you know, have some interaction with you, so go ahead and comment that. And let's go ahead and tape these down. One of the problems, I think, is I'm using an awfully long piece of masking tape there, maybe. I'm going to cut this off. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now we have a cute little bag, and so for this bag I thought I would take and put some white in there just so we could see the difference. So you know, you could put in here whatever you wanted, right? This is with the white. Want to fluff up your tissue paper. Now this pink tissue paper came in one of the paper pumpkins, so that's why I saved the tissue that comes in the paper pumpkin. And this, of course, I had left over from Christmas. And while we're talking about paper pumpkin, I did just want to let you know that the paper pumpkin is a monthly subscription. It's a kit that comes to you at the end of every month, and it's all inclusive. So everything that you need for the project inside is there in the kit, and you can make your cards or your projects, whatever. And you know, it's just something to look forward to at the end of the month. If ever you need to suspend your subscription, maybe you're going to be on vacation or something, or you want to cancel, there's no problem, you can do that. But it is just really a nice thing to subscribe to. All right, so let's move on with our next card. Thank you for sticking around with me. And this is the card that I wanted to share with you next. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit, and that is that I like floral, obviously, but I also know that there are reasons for different kinds of cards. And so sometimes, you know, we think about it, if we're going to send a card to, you know, maybe our brother or brother-in-law or nephew or whatever, maybe we want something that's has a little more of a masculine feel. So I really do like these colors a lot. It's crumb cake and very vanilla and early espresso. And I'm going to show you how I made this card. There is something that's brand new in this card, and I'm going to tell you about it. So here is the card base, and this is what I call a top folding card. I like these cards just because they're easier to photograph. But we have cards that you can open like a book or a top folding just like this. And so this was 11 inches by 8.5. I just cut it down the middle at 4 1/4. Half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. And then I rotated my cardstock on my trimmer. This is the 11-inch side. And I just scored it at 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 is half of 11. And so that's what we did there. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and I'm going to crisp up that fold. Now our cardstock is a good texture, it's a good weight, it's not flimsy. And so it just makes great cards. But I like that it's sturdy enough that it can stand up, and also lightweight enough that you can put layers on it, right? So there's my crumb cake. So 8.5, that's a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11. And then I took some early espresso. I love this color. And this is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to layer right on here. And then there's something I really want to show you. Brand new to us is the corrugated 3D embossing folder. That is brand new. It's in the online exclusives, and this is what it looks like. So you take your this is 3 3/4 by 5, and you just put this in your folder, run it through your cut and emboss machine, and you have this. It looks almost like that corrugated in the boxes. You know, they used to use the corrugated stuff when they would ship. But that's what it looks like, and it just gives it so much texture. Look at that. We used to have these, what did we call them? I think we called them crimpers. And it used to be like a wheel, and you just put your paper through, and when it came out, it would be look like this. It'd be corrugated, the corrugated look. But it also would be kind of bent because it went through those rollers. But this is nice and flat, and we're going to put it on here. Let's go ahead and do that right now. And because the embossed panel is has some definitely texture to it, you may want to use your liquid glue here just so that it gets in those grooves. And we're going to go ahead and put it on our early espresso. Whoops. I didn't want too much of a margin, just a little bit. And so I don't want to flatten it out, so I want to be careful. So when I want to make sure that it is adhered down, I will just take it and go from the back side. And you can use your bone folder. Just don't add a lot of pressure, because you don't want to take out that texture that you worked so hard to put in, right? And then you're going to need a piece of very vanilla for the inside. So this is going to go to the inside of your card, right? Just like that. And then you need a piece for the outside of this card. Now, what I did with this card is I took my perennial postage dies, and I cut out that little shape. And so the one that I used, let's measure, but the one that I used was this right here. Now I am going to go run over and die cut that. I thought I had done that, but I guess not. So I'm going to just be a minute, but I'll be right back. Now while I'm here, I just wanted to here. I just also wanted to share with you that when you do go to ritaspapermotif.com, if you go to the home page, at the very bottom of the home page, you'll find the opportunity to sign up for my newsletter. So if you'd like to do that, that would be greatly appreciated. And I do have a gift that I'm giving out for those that sign up for the newsletter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back. Now you can see that I have twine on that. So I do like to put some kind of fabric or texture or something that has that fabric feel, right? Whether it's ribbon or twine. So we have in our catalog, this is called the Essentials Pack, and it has 3 of the different colors. It has the white and black, very vanilla, and then the linen. I am going to use the very vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and well, I could use either, actually. So, yeah, whichever. I have, let me see here. I think I'm going to use this one that's already started, and instead of my very vanilla. But you could use either. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this around here before I adhere that down. I'm just going to take it 2 or 3 times, and then I'll cut it. Let's see here. If I cut it too long, that's fine. I can always trim it, right? So that looks a little too dark. What do you think? I think that's too dark. Let's go with the very vanilla. I was right with the very vanilla in the beginning. And I have one of those that started too, I thought. No, I must have used it. So let's go ahead and use this one. Let's see here. This looks much better, yes. I think the beauty of crafting is we can always change our mind, right? All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to tie a knot here because I also want to tie a bow. So I'll just bring that through here. Sometimes I get nervous tying bows on video because, you know, we all know how to tie our shoes, but sometimes doing it where everybody is watching is kind of challenging. All right, so there's our little knot, and then we can just go ahead and tie it. And then of course you want to zhuzh it up, right? So let's see, we don't want those, I don't want those big loops on there. Although when you do your card, you can decide what you want. So I always hold it down kind of in the, where the knot is. And then I just go ahead and adjust. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to have kind of a, I wouldn't always maybe want that big of a loop, but I think that's okay. All right, and then we have our perennial postage that we have already die cut. And so we're going to stamp on that. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put this panel down. And once we secure this, of course the knot is going to keep it in place that we just did in front. But once we put it on this card front, that will also secure that twine. So again, if you wanted to kind of Make sure the glue is down. You can just gently, now look at, you can gently press on it. Now look, if you can see, you can't see, I guess, but you can see the layers already happening and the dimension already happening. Now let's go ahead and we're going to stamp these two things. So this is the outside sentiment and this is the inside of the card. So I want to put happy, happy on the outside, and on the inside, I want to put happy birthday. So that's what the inside looks like. So you can see what stamp we're going to be using. And so I'm going to get a block for that. And that is also from the Spring Corners. And I have a mess here. Let's see. This over here and this over here, so I have some room. And I want this corner right here. And I like to just lay it down like this and then put my acrylic block on there, because it's thinner. Sometimes when you take it off of your case, you can kind of bend it and then it won't be straight. So that's why I do that. So we're going to need this on the front sentiment and then on the inside. So let's go ahead and we're going to be using our Early Espresso. And just going to tap it. And I'm going to stamp it right in the corner like this. And then we did it on the top inside. So let's do that. Okay. And then we're going to as well do that right here. And I am going to use this. Actually, I'll get my scrap paper here, because it may go off. I just want this corner to have that corner. Okay, so there we go there. And then I'm going to leave this out because we're going to do something as well. So all these little spots, that is also a stamp right in here. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Here it is. And we're going to use that to stamp this part right here, just to give it a little interest. And I just put my finger in that ink. And so we're just going to put it like that. And I didn't put any on the oh, I did put some on the inside. So let's go ahead. And then we're going to do that happy birthday again. So on the on that, we're going to make sure it's clean, because I don't remember if I cleaned it, but we're going to put happy birthday right here. And you can use any happy birthday stamp you have. I used a different one there, but let's just use this one. Okay. And then on this sentiment, I want to use this stamp that says happy, happy, happy. And that comes from a stamp set that is part of the Close to My Heart collection. And so now, those of you that are stampers, you'll be happy to know that Stampin' Up! Is now, has taken the Close to My Heart business that shut down. They've taken their product and they're also catering now to scrapbookers. So this is one of the Close to My Heart stamp in thin cut dies, and this Happy Happy is part of that stamp set. So you can also find this in my inline store. So any of the previous Close to My Heart products that were available there at the end of their business, you can find, plus all new stuff as well. All right, so we're stamping this right here, and I do have to bring it closer. So sorry. Let's see here. And so I'm putting Happy Happy, and the inside says Happy Birthday. So then I am going to go ahead and adhere this inside. To my card. And I didn't tell you the measurement of this, but normally on the inside, for the inside inserts, almost all of mine, unless they're layered, almost all of them are 4 by 5 1/4. So there we go with the inside. Now we need to do something with the outside, right? Well, I'm grabbing my, you know what, dimensionals. And we're going to go ahead and prop this up with dimension. So if you've been stamping for a long time, you can always take card ideas that are shared by other creators, or any creator, I should say, and you can change them to make it your own. You can put more stuff on your card if you want. Whatever you want, you can do that. If you're just starting out, here are some kind of easy things to do to make your card. And then when I show you tomorrow the surprise, it'll make it easier to put things together. And then if you stay with me for the next 5 days, you should be set for cards for quite some time. But you can always put your own spin on them, and that's the beauty of sharing our design. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right up here. And you would need those dimensionals because you're going over that twine, right? If you didn't want to put it on the twine, then I don't know, maybe I can move it. Yep. Then you could put it right below the twine. And so however it works for you, whatever you'd like to do, that's up to you. Now you can see on this card I did put an embellishment. I did only put one. And these are the metallic adhesive backed dots. So you could, you know, put as many as you want. Normally it is suggested that you put 3, because that's supposed to be more appealing to the eye, and you can put them anywhere on your card. So I am going to put 3 on this card. I only put 1 on this card, but I don't know, I think it might be fun to put some more. So I'm getting the gold ones. You can see these were brass, copper, and then gold, and I'm going to put a gold one. Okay, so there's that card, and it does have an envelope. I didn't decorate the envelope, but you certainly could do that. We have those little release papers going on there. So there's that card, and here's our little bag. Let me know if you like the pink tissue and the white ribbon, or if you like the white tissue and the green. And then here is the, I want to say kind of feminine feel card, but you know what? I could definitely see sending that to anyone, actually. And we did feature the Spring Corners stamp set, the Flowers of Beauty stamp set and dies, and then the Close to My Heart stamp. Let's see, does it have a name on it? Close to My Heart stamp and then dies. Okay, so I hope that, and also this gorgeous corrugated embossing folder. I am going to use that to no end, I believe. So I want to thank you for coming by and sharing some time with me. I wanted to do this a little bit earlier, but like I said, I had surgery this morning, so this is the first that I could do that. But this is part of our birthday shindig. We still have 5 more days for sure. And so I hope that you'll join me tomorrow for another adventure creating our birthday greetings. So what I'm going to try and do is give you ideas for cards, bags, tags, boxes, treat holders, and fun folds. So see you tomorrow, and thank you for sharing your time with me, and you all have a great day. Bye now.